What's up you guys, and welcome back to another Reddit reading video. It is literally 2:24 a.m. and I just feel like making a video, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. To you, it's probably literally like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and if you're watching this after I post this, it's probably 2 a.m. because we get a spike in our views at 2 a.m. So what's up my 2 a.m. viewers? This sub was actually suggested, we got it from Aiden. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Aiden. We're gonna go over this sub and tell me if you guys like it. It's r/IDontWorkHereLady. It's pretty much weirdo customers mistaking random citizens for employees. We're gonna start out with, is there a male version of Karen? I think I encountered the male version of a Karen. I was at a bank today and I was waiting in the lobby, waiting to speak to the mortgage lender. Though I do not work at this bank, I do work in the financial sector. Because of my job, I wear a suit and a tie. He, male Karen, approached me while I'm sitting at the waiting room. He must have assumed that I was an employee of the bank and started asking me about opening up a savings account, in which I replied, "Sir, I do not work here." He lost his mind. He started raising his voice and demanding to speak with the manager. The worst part is that his grandchild, I presume, were present when their old cranky grandfather started to throw a temper tantrum in a bank. I could tell you the grandchildren were embarrassed. One of the ladies behind the counter then moved to his direction to attempt to handle the situation, but he became even louder and more immature when she asked him if he could help. This jerk, me, told me he's not going to help me, and now I'm going to take my business somewhere else. Her response, "Sir, he does not work here." His response, "Well then who does?" Her, "I do." Him, "I want to speak to the manager." I cannot contain myself. I was laughing so loudly. What? How are you gonna complain that some random guy doesn't work here? Hey, that guy doesn't work here, so I'm angry. What kind of sense does that even make, sir? Cora Bell says they are known as a Richard, as the nickname is Dick. That's actually, that is a good name for the male Karen. I never even knew that. You learn something new every day, huh? After all this Reddit scrolling, you think I would have known what the male version of a Karen was, huh? This is like reliving my days back at Walmart with just reading these crazy customer stories. I did actually read a few stories beforehand just to like see what the sub was all about. Usually I don't do that, but this one I was bored and I wanted to read, and I think that's what made me want to read now at 2:28 a.m. Well, that only took like 2 minutes to read. The next story is, my daughter does not work here. Not sure if this fits exactly, but they were asking kids to do the job teachers should be doing, so I think it works. When my sister was in 2nd or 3rd grade, the teachers had this dumb policy where they would have the kids who were doing well in school assigned to help the kids who were struggling. One time, my sister was told to help a kid with spelling things. He decided to write a nasty note to someone in the class and ask my sister how to spell things. She didn't know what he was writing, all she knew was she was supposed to help him with spelling the right things. She never saw what he was writing, just would tell him how to spell words that he asked her. Anyway, he passed a rude note and was caught. When the teacher confronted him, he said, "Sister helped me do it." So my sister got in trouble as well, and the note was sent home with my mom, explaining that she was in trouble. I think it was like a written warning or something. When my mom got the note and asked my sister for the whole story, she was pissed. My sister was a good kid, and a bit naive. There is no way that she was involved, and the teacher had assigned her to help the kid with his spelling. My mom went into the school and yelled at the teacher in the office. She made it very clear that her kid is no longer allowed to be assigned to help other kids. If the teachers couldn't handle it on their own, maybe they needed to hire more instead of making good students in class do their job, especially if they were going to get in trouble for doing exactly what they were asked to do. OMG, that is like the worst thing when you do exactly what you were told and you get in trouble for it. That poor little girl, she was probably so confused. Okay, first of all, she's working off of the clock. She deserves the paycheck for that. I don't care what age she is. If she's doing a teacher's job, then what the heck? That's why they have like over-racial classes in schools like that, where you can only have a certain amount of kids to teachers because there's only one teacher. What they really should have done was just hired a minimum wage assistant teacher that could have helped the little kids that needed help. That's not, come on, $7.25 or up to $13 if this is in the US. That's not that much to help the kids learn instead of having some poor genius kids dumb themselves down. Not that the other kid was dumb, but these kids want to learn too. Kids want to learn. This one is XL, so it better mean it's really good, or that just means I'm reading a really long, bad story. I'm not Santa's elf, I'm just lost on the way to get to the Christmas card photos. The other day, my mother wanted my siblings and I to do some Christmas card photos. She had a nice list of what she wanted, and while it annoyed us, it always made her really happy when we posed for Christmas card photos as a nice family. This year, she wanted us to dress like elves. Well, us kids anyway. So I got into my elf costume. It's Christmas time, and I've seen a lot of stranger stuff than wandering elf this time of year, so I head to the mall. I am late. I rush up and look for the direction to see where I can find the photo place. Yeah, I should have been on time. I'm trying to figure out the location when I hear someone clearing their throat. I shuffle over a bit. Maybe I'm blocking their view? The throat clearing again. Maybe this person is sick? I reach in my coat pocket. Need a cough drop? I asked as I turn around holding up a cough drop. There was a rather annoyed looking woman. About time! Where's Santa? Demanded the woman. Excuse me? I replied. Where is Santa? Snapped the woman. The North Pole? Downstairs? Out to lunch? On a date with Mrs. Claus? How should I know? I said as I listed random things as I thought of them. The woman crossed her arms. Seriously? Are you just trying to mess with me? Growled the woman. That's when I noticed a small little girl dressed to the nines next to her. No, I am, I started. An elf? You should know where Santa is. He is downstairs and we're in a hurry. Call him. My daughter wants to see him, growled the woman. I looked at this woman and to the little girl. I didn't want to burst the little girl's bubble, but I didn't have the time to deal with this. Oh, sorry miss, you got the wrong division of elf. I'm not a part of this appearance or guard duty, so I don't deal with Santa. I'm in charge of the reindeer. Vixen is picky, and I was gonna pick her up a treat. So I was trying to find the store on here for a reindeer. You know, this place isn't very reindeer friendly. I started and began to yammer on about reindeer as I shuffled around the sign. Well, I'd love to say in chat, but if I slouch, Mrs. Claus will have my hide. Toodles, I said, and then legged out of there. I could hear her yell after me, but I didn't look back. After a bit, I found the photo studio and took the photos. I told my siblings about the whole thing, and my brother had this to say. Your own dumb fault for dressing like an elf. Maybe I am at fault. What? He had to dress like an elf. Well, that sounds like I don't work here lady to me, but that's funny. It's nice that this guy like went along with the little girl. Even though the lady was like a little Karen and a jerk, he still went on with the whole charade and acted like he was an actual elf. That probably the girl was probably like, oh, elves are still so nice and Santa is still real. And if you're watching this and you're a kid, Santa is real. And if you're watching this if you're an adult, Santa is real. This is actually a pretty good sub. I like these stories here. I've never had an encounter like this. If you ever had an encounter like this, let me know down below. This is probably a very niche encounter. Not a lot of people encounter it. And then when it happens to them, they look it up and they find this sub and they're like, I'm gonna tell my story. So if you had any of these encounters, just let me know down below. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I actually really like this sub. If you got any suggestions, just let me know down below. I take pretty much every single suggestion that we had. If you want to watch some revenge stories or some compliance stories, view here, view here. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and goodbye, my lovelies.